Can you remember that popular advice that was given in one of the movies we used to watch when we were younger? There was this girl that was standing on the roof, and there was like, the dad was telling me, "Jump, my son." And
I can't jump further.
I can't jump further. I will break my leg. And then father says, "Jump, I will catch you." And then he goes,
"Can I trust you, father?" Of course
you can trust me.
Am I not your father?
Am I not your father?
Jump.
And then he jumps. And then what happens?
Oh, father.
I think it was this life or odd word.
This is your first lesson in life. Never trust anybody, including me, your father. I mean, you remember this growing up with the times when we were watching this live, watching Super Story. If you're from,
Odd Word, Fiji House of Commotion.
Exactly. Some of those movies.
There were so many of them.
Only children of the 90s can relate.
Only children of the 90s. Very, very true.
There was Papa Jasco. There was Bita and Friends.
Honestly. And that's why we didn't have cable TV as much in that time. And that's why I had to start off with this, because, I mean, this singular lesson from that particular movie is something that I think people need to really pay attention to so much now. Like, you can't trust anybody. You just have to be careful and you watch your back.
Yep.
Yeah. Welcome, beautiful people of this wicked world. Really? This is a wicked world, guys.
You've not experienced
shine our eyes.
Why do you think the world is
wicked? World is wicked?
The whole world is wicked.
Who sang the song "World is Wicked"? Okay, that's love.
That's what you doing. You need something to prove your point.
Well, the world is wicked. I thought it was. I mean, that was love.
But it's a beautiful place to be.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys, welcome to Feels Unbothered, brought to you by Upfront and Personal. The gang is here. Gabby in the building.
Medici, as always.
Soft Daddy, ABA Kings, you know this.
Yes, so today we're talking about a very, very somewhat, really, really actually sad story about a man who is a medical doctor and who was found actually killing, people. It's just so sad that in this generation, and that's why I had to say that the world is actually very wicked and you shouldn't trust anybody. People need to watch their backs now more than ever before. We'll tell you all about this when we get back from the short break. Don't go anywhere, guys.
I used to care for the world's opinion. I used to fear their rejection. I used to beg for validation. And I used to wait to be seen. But the fire that burned in me was hotter. And the passion that lived in me had a voice of its own. So I stopped waiting and started to act. I stopped fearing and started to live. And when they thought I'd fail, I stepped into my power.
Because my time is now.
Amstel Malta, be your best.
Feels Unbothered.
All right, guys. I mean, so you already know that I was trying to find a song that would say, the world is wicked, because the world actually is wicked. And truly, I don't think we need a song to actually prove that point. If you listen to the news every day, you know that the world is actually a really wicked place and people need to do so much more these days to actually watch their backs. When I try to book rides, to certain places, especially my area, when it gets to a particular point at night, most times I see a lot of cab drivers cancelling. And that's because a lot of times you don't talk about the safety of cab drivers. They carry a passenger. A lot of times the passengers are more bothered about their own safety. We don't forget that many of these guys have, gone through all kinds of risk, to get their passengers from one place to the other. And some of them have even lost their lives in the process. And I'm going to give you an example of a cab driver who was a victim of one Dr. Adio Adebowale, who is a chief medical officer of a particular general hospital somewhere in Kwara State. And now, because of the level of education this man has and because of the nature of his practice, we're not going to be expecting him to be involved in crime. We're not going to expect that he's going to have he injected that man who was his cab driver, who he also claimed was his friend, injected him, dumped his body by the side of the road and took off with his vehicle.
That's cruel.
At the end of the day, he confessed to that particular crime, but during the investigation, they find out that there are two other ladies that he was involved with in the past who he had also killed and buried in his office.
Really
and I just
sad.
think this is bad, because you see people with two eyes, two hands, two legs, look just like you, very educated, very enlightened, and you just expect more from them, but now see what's happening.
So I can say that at this point we're no longer safe. I mean, if someone who has sworn the oath to save life, a medical practitioner, so what happens to me and you? Like, how safe are we?
By the time they begin to release more investigative reports, there'll be a couple of more deaths attached.
linked to him,
How many years
right?
has he been doing this? We don't even know for how long. He's just met his Waterloo. How many lives have been lost? I mean, this is
And even
Wow.
while he was confessing, he says, part of my work is I've done a lot to save a lot of lives, and I'm scared. I'm like, the people you are treated in the past, I really hope they're actually okay, to be honest, because this now starts to go way back.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, it just goes to show that everybody stay safe as
Just
much
be
as
careful.
possible.
Just be careful, seriously.
And I pray that the souls of those who were his victims will rest in peace. Honestly, because I think it's very, very important. And guys, please don't trust anybody. Just constantly keep watching your back.
You're not even going to trust your doctor again.
if you have a
well.
family doctor, just stick to that person.
Yeah, it is well. It is well. That's what I can say.
That's all
about
I
that.
can say, honestly.
Multina, share happiness.
Views unpotted.
Moving on, you see that this our generation is very, very special and unique. Recently, I must commend the efforts of the security agencies, especially the EFCC. I mean, before we always castigate, we should also commend them when they're doing their job and all that. We understand that they are bad eggs.
Wow.
We understand that there are some bad eggs.
There's somebody exactly.
But recently, over 50 people were prosecuted by the EFCC for suspected internet fraud. You see the way I'm using my words. Okay, and this happened in Delta State, precisely.
I'm not even surprised about the location.
Wow. This happened
'Cause I
in
know
Delta
this.
State. And I mean, it's always funny when you hear that they catch 30 people at once, 40 people, 50.
Yeah.
And this time they caught over 70 people at once.
Wow.
Do you understand? And they definitely did this mug shot, snap them with evidences and their luxury cars and whatever device they have and all that. They were arrested. I don't know if they were jailed and stuff like that, but what caught our attention is the fact that a couple of ladies went on the streets of Delta
Leave our boyfriends
to go and
alone.
protest that they want their boyfriends
To be released.
to be released.
Na Yahoo, you
That
take
is
chop.
Yahoo, they are easy to take. That they have left them stranded and starving.
Oh my
as they've arrested the breadwinners of these ladies. So dating for them is an employment. So they have been left jobless.
There are too many sides to actually talk about this thing, because it's funny. Number one is in that part of the country, it seems like they've completely normalized internet fraud.
Yeah.
It's a normal thing.
way,
Yeah. This is what we now this one they take and chop now. What are you saying? How is he crime? And then number two, the girlfriends are solely dependent on the boyfriends for their
Of which the boyfriends are dependent on people, Abby.
exactly. It's a lot of
It's a long chain. Yeah.
It's a very long chain.
But
this protest though,
it's funny. The protest is
That's
actually very
very
funny.
funny.
It's funny and it's disturbing.
What part of Nigeria again?
It's Delta.
Delta State, worry.
I saw the video and they came out with placards. They were actually being vocal. They were not just coming out to say.
So there was no fear that these people could actually be arrested. They were not even scared that you could be arrested as an accomplice. I mean, you are eating your own money. Do you know what that means?
Exactly.
Hey.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. What it means is there's nothing. They're not afraid anymore. That's just what it means. We're gonna go on a short break at this point. When we come back, there's so much more to talk about. Stay tuned, guys.
I used to care for the world's opinion. I used to fear their rejection. I used to beg for validation. And I used to wait to be seen. But the fire that burned in me was hotter. And the passion that lived in me had a voice of its own. So I stopped waiting and started to act. I stopped fearing and started to live. And when they thought I'd fail, I stepped into my power.
Because my time is now.
Amstel Malta, be your best.
Multina, share happiness.
Fuse Unpotted.
All right, so moving away from all the bad goods happening in Nigeria, this is actually a very funny but not so funny conversation. Joro Olumofin, I don't know if I got that right, social media personality
and relationship coach.
Out. Yeah, because we're actually going to talk about something that has to do with relationship.
Yes,
now he has said that why is it that side chicks prefer to be side chicks to married men rather than main chick to single guys? Do you understand what that means? Babes, like ladies like to be side chicks to married men rather than being with a single guy as a real girlfriend. Now, he gave a lot of instances as to why. First of all, I think married men, according to him, they promise more commitment. They don't give you issues. They don't lie. They give you money. They spoil you.
They do not lie.
I mean, you're going to your man's house. You're not scared that, okay. No, because you don't even meet in his house. You meet in a hotel. Okay. In an Airbnb. Like, you don't stress, right? You're not scared that, okay, if I go to my man's house, say a single guy, for instance, that what if he's with someone else? So I'm calling him, he's not picking my calls. But if a married man is not picking your calls, you know that, okay, it's probably with his wife. So there's nothing to be scared for. You want to travel, he's there, like your visa is ready and all that. So he's come out to say that a lot of women are not interested in single guys. They're more interested in married men. Of course,
sorry, Gabby. Okay. I'm going to borrow the words of Enioluwa because I just saw a video of Enioluwa recently.
Yeah, I was reacting to
and he said, what did he say? Ladies, everybody is dating married men. They are doing chop and go, but you say you want to sit down there and die there. As he's cheating on his wife, hello, sister, he's gonna what? Cheat on you.
Most definitely.
But I mean, that's on a lighter note. But seriously, yeah.
It's actually very funny.
I'm not married yet, but I think I know a couple of.
But you have friends now, so what's your experience?
But AB.
You have friends.
Gabby wanted to.
You have friends, AB. I feel like you're avoiding this question.
No, my friends are loyal men.
Okay. This is what I want to say. I'm tired of talking about cheating matter. Cheating matter is actually tiring me these days more and more. But if you hear what Joro said that one thing I want to say is that the guys who are single guys, they are just interested in sex 24/7. That's one of the things he said. And borrowing loan from their
which is what the married men want as well, because they exchange sex for cash. For checks, actually, not cash.
I feel like single guys give
married
men will not borrow loan now.
Wow.
They don't borrow loan from you.
Wow. This is a slap on all the single men.
But not everybody.
Honestly, it's not like that for everybody. So for me, here's what I think. I think it's always better to go with the single guys, and
of course, would you have said go with the married? But I have some people who actually prefer
date properly and don't allow this whole relationship hula baloo to sway you away. That's all I have to say.
That's right, guys. That's how much you can take today on Fuse Unpotted. Don't forget to join the conversation. YouTube at The Fuse, Instagram at Fuse Local. Follow me on all social media platforms @_Madichi.
You find me on Instagram at Gabby.Gabby. To follow, guys.
You can find me on all social media platforms AB_Akins, AB_AKYNZ. And from all of us here in the studio,
stay fused, baby.
Upfront and personal, world-class business, world-class consultants.